Alright, so let's reflect on the week that's been, shall we? Let's set up our microphone in the right spot. Because if we don't, then people comment right away, and then it turns ugly, and then... Oh. So, I'm posting a video right now where I try to explain this. People just don't get it. You just don't turn down top 6 talent when it's available in an expansion draft. That's just crazy. Crazy. Bobby Ryan is not top 6 talent, not with 13 goals in 62 games when you're paying him $11 billion. That's why I said he sucks. And then I realized after, I'm like, oh, don't say he sucks. All the Ottawa fans are going to get butthurt. And you're just, oh, you said he sucks, didn't you? Ah, crap. It's not your fault he sucks, but don't say he sucks, because people who don't think he sucks are going to get mad that you said he sucks, even though he sucks. Because he sucks. Vegas is not going to take players that suck. So, yeah, there's been a lot of growth on the channel over the last week, and I'm very happy about that. It's been exciting. It's kind of been a whirlwind too, in that I've been spending a lot of time, setting these videos up and figuring out what I'm going to do, what I'm going to talk about. I've probably been putting more pressure on myself than I used to. I see those numbers going like that. I'm like, oh man, I got a big audience now. Like, for instance, I was going to go back to 2001, 2002. Just to give you guys an example on top-end talent and the difference it can make. Columbus, their first year, they had 28 wins. They finished 23rd overall. That's out of 30 teams. So they finished ahead of 7 teams. They only had one 20-goal scorer, and that was Jeff Sanderson, who scored 30. Espen Knutson scored 11. Ray Whitney scored 10. All in Florida. He scored none after getting traded to Columbus. 16 from Tyler Wright. 13 from David Vaborny. 13 from Serge Aubin. 11 from Jamie Heward. And then it's all single digits after that. It's that top-end talent. Minnesota. Their top goal scorer was rookie Marian Gaborik with 18, tied with Wes Walz and Darby Hendrickson, who both scored 18. Lubomir Sekerash, or as I used to call him, Suffering Sekerash, had 11. Antti Laaksonen had 12. Aaron Gavey had 10, and then everybody's single digits from there. That Minnesota team finished with 25 wins and finished 25th overall out of 30 teams. They scored 2.05 goals per game. So this roster right here already scores more goals per game than Columbus or Minnesota, who both had good initial seasons in the NHL. And all people say is, you didn't grab Dumba. I didn't see a reason to grab Dumba. Let's take a look at Dumba, shall we? Because I think people get all, like, tunnel vision with a guy's... He's going to be really good. Dumba, 76 games, 34 points. He's a good defenseman. He is. He had 26 points the year before in 81 games. Good defenseman. 6 on the power play. 5 at even strength. They could take him. But I think if they take him instead of Eric Stahl, I think they're insane. Because you can't get, for Matt Dumba... So if you leave this lineup as it is and you draft Matt Dumba, now you've got a hole up front that you're trying to trade one of these guys out to fill. And you're not going to get a guy who scored 65 points in the NHL last year back. I don't understand it. You're drafting youth, but you're also drafting talent. And if you can get talent as an expansion team, that's gold. And a guy who's 32, that's not that old. I just, I know I've had arguments on this channel with people before, but I just find it so weird, because this is not what Vegas did. This is what I would do if I was George McPhee. It's funny, too, because there's been plenty of people online that have said, you should be the general manager of the Canucks. You think I'd make moves that everybody liked? Really? You think so? Because I'm pretty sure I wouldn't. Pretty sure that I'd put together a roster that people would say, that Shannon guy's an idiot. I may get that. The other thing, too, though, is that the comment section being what it is, some of the trolling that goes on, it sort of reminds me of 3 years back. And I know that was 3 years ago. But there's still the potential. 3 years back, when my ex-wife left me, her new boyfriend would troll my channel at the time. Of course, I was saying things about him and about my ex. But he did. He'd come in and troll the channel and troll me and make personal comments against me and whatever. Now, I haven't said anything to him, and eventually the cops got involved, and the funny part was he was harassing me through my channel, and I printed out his comments because he was stupid enough to leave his real name on them, and I gave him to the police, and then the police come back to me and they're like, we haven't found a way to get a hold of him. And I'm like, have you tried my ex-wife's cell number? She probably knows where he is because they live together. That's literally what I said to the cop. And then he's like, oh, yeah, no, we haven't tried that. And I'm like, so you haven't tried everything? What did you try again? So then they did that. They got a hold of him. And he said, well, if he agrees to leave us alone, then we'll leave him alone. And I'm like, okay. All I was doing was venting on my channel after my ex-wife left me. I was venting about how I felt being left, what I thought of her, what I thought of him for taking the mother of my children away and leaving me to raise my kids as a single dad. I was very angry, and justifiably so. And he just went off about it, and just kept, oh, you're lying, you're full of shit. And I'm like, dude, this is my video diary. This is not for you. This is not for her. This is for me. Go away. So I delete his comments. I didn't know how to block people back then. If I had, who knows, maybe things would have been a lot easier. He would have just come in as a guest and kept, watching my videos. I thought it was really, really fucking weird, too, that he was watching my videos. So, my long-winded thing is this. When I start seeing comments in the chat about me and they're personal, my first thought is that you, Steve? Is that you? My ex knows I'm making money on my channel. She knows it's doing really well. I didn't tell her how much I'm making. I'll tell you guys since you're my patrons and you guys are helping me towards a goal, and I really appreciate it. You guys have no idea how, I was crying earlier this week because I was so excited about where this channel is going, and with the fact that I have this soul-sucking job that I hate, and the potential to leave it. And I'm up to the point now where I'm halfway to my goal of making enough money that I can quit my job. I'm halfway there. Obviously I'm not there on Patreon, and I don't expect to be, and I don't count on any donations from people. I appreciate every dollar given by everybody, but I don't count on it, right, kitty? Good little girl. But with the ad revenue from YouTube, I'm getting up there. I think part of what's helped is that most big channels, from what I've read, are part of these networks to get more views and more viewers and more subscribers. And I've resisted them at all costs. I've ignored their emails at all costs. And they're still pestering me on and off, not like they were. They're trying to make it more personal now. It's, oh, I watched your video on blah, 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 and I agree the Canucks are this, and I think the Oilers are this, and I think this is going to... It's like, oh, you guys are making it really personal. I'm still saying no. Because they take half your money. And I cannot believe that these big channels that are generating, literally... I would think some of these big channels have to be generating $100,000 a month. They have to be. I am looking at realistically $800 US by the end of this month. And I can't believe it. Because that means that for a Steve Dangle, he's likely generating, I'll say $4 or $5 grand a month. But if he's part of one of those networks, they take half of it. I don't get it. I don't get it. What point is having all the additional subscribers and views if you don't get the money for it? Somebody who's not doing anything for you is taking the money. No. Nuh-uh. And then I had a really generous donation provided to the channel by somebody who's not a patron, because he says he doesn't trust Patreon, but he dropped a large sum of money. large. Large enough that Yvonne and I don't have to worry about money for the entire summer. And like it doesn't pay all the rent and everything, but it gave us money that we've thrown into getting the van fixed. We got the cats. Her cats are both spayed, so we can stop worrying about them. I got a brand new computer for her youngest son, which this computer that I have here, Yvonne homeschools the kids, so she used the money from homeschooling to buy this computer for me. So this computer was initially meant for her younger son. I got the computer. I've felt bad ever since then. I felt like shit ever since then. So when I got this money dropped to me, the first thing I said was, I'm buying Gabriel a computer. So I bought Gabriel a computer. It's a Chromebook, because he doesn't do much other than the online gaming stuff. I've since found out that the Roblox and Minecraft don't work with the Chromebook, but if you install Linux, they'll work just fine. So his dad has Linux, and he knows all about installing it, so we'll get the computer down there to him. He'll install Linux, and Gabriel will be able to do everything. And I got new gaming mice for Gabriel and Malachi, and I got a new set of headphones for Adelaide, because she needs headphones when she listens to her iPad, and she kind of broke hers. So, and they got they're little cat ears, and they light up. They weren't that expensive either. And then I also got some stuff for Yvonne. I got her some more of the Rainbow Bright stuff that you guys may notice in the background when I have the camera facing the other way, because she collects that. And then I gave her a large chunk of money. I transferred almost half of it to her. So I have jerseys coming this week that came through that money. And I still have some of the money left over, because the guy who gave me the money said you should save some of that for a Vegas jersey. And I was like, sure. And then I found out the Vegas jersey won't be available until August. With the money making on my channel, I can afford to buy the Vegas jersey with my YouTube revenue in August. So I'm not worried about it. But this is a whole different everything. 3 years ago, my life was in the shitter. I felt horrible. I was in a dank, dark apartment. I mean, you guys can go look at my old videos and see what I lived in and what I live in now. And everything's better now. And I just have to figure out a way to balance it so that the trolls are going to increase, and they're going to increase in terms of their volume, both in number and just in being louder. I know there's the possibility that my ex's boyfriend is still on. They're still just boyfriend, girlfriend. They've been together 3 years. Because my ex has issues with getting married. She has severe issues. Massive. The funny thing was, last week, Yvonne had an exchange with her on Facebook, because I have my ex blocked on Facebook. I won't talk to her. And so Yvonne ended up talking to her, because Yvonne's like, well, she's Noah's mother, and she should know what's going on in Noah's life. And I'm like, all right, you want to talk to her? And she's like, well, if you give her my information. I'm like, all right, don't say I didn't warn you. But Yvonne's a really nice girl, and she's a good mom, and she figures that everybody deserves a chance. So my ex was angry about some stuff going on with Noah, and assumed that we had control over it. And it's like, he's 17 and a half. We make sure he's got a home. We make sure he's fed. We make sure he's taken care of. When he goes out the door, unless we're going to follow him or put him on a leash, we don't have any control over certain things. If he wants trouble, he's going to find it. And we don't have any say, as much as my ex seems to think we do. So, in the exchange they had last week, my ex was basically saying that I was a bad father. Yvonne didn't have time, because she has 3 kids of her own, so she doesn't have time to be a good mother to her kid. And that, basically, and then she said some things about me that Yvonne, to this point, still will not tell me she said. So there's still so much anger and paranoia. A lot of paranoia. She thinks that I just sit and shit talk her all day to my son. I don't have to say squat. She left home on a Friday. She's going up to Kelowna to visit her mother. On Monday, she was supposed to be back. Or no, the following Monday, she was supposed to start work where I was. She was getting a job with me. Hi, baby. You got your tongue sticking out, And so she left on the Friday. the Tuesday I knew something was wrong because she still wasn't even talking about coming home. And when she was calling me, she seemed really, really happy. And I'm like, do you even want to come home? And she wasn't answering that question either. So she came home on the Wednesday to tell me we were finished. She told the kids there was somebody else. She introduced that somebody else to my son. Told my kids not to tell me that she'd found somebody else. And it was 3 days later, I think, that she told me there was somebody else. And then on Facebook, their anniversary is technically before I knew that we were broken up. So she went up to Kelowna to help her mother through cancer surgery and came home with another man. And she seems to think that I have to shit talk her to make my son think badly of her. That incident scarred him. And then I was a single parent. And remember, I work at 5 in the morning. I'm not there to get kids to school. So now he went from having a ride from his mother every morning to school to not having one. Having to get himself up and get himself to school. My daughter graduated a couple months later and she moved out. So now he's waking up alone, getting himself to school, making his own lunch if he had one, and I'm not even there. So yeah, bad habits took root years ago. And she was at the center of it. And one of the things she said to Yvonne was, I know they both still blame me for everything. Everything was my fault. You left your family. You left your kids. My daughter lives with her now, but at the time, my daughter was just lived with her. But since the new boyfriend has all kinds of money and she doesn't have to pay room and board, she's living up there instead of, sticking around with me, because I would have made her pay room and board when she was working. So yeah. And then in the midst of this, he's crazy and still stalking me on my YouTube channel. And I don't know that he is now, but I wouldn't put it past him, especially with what's going on now and with the amount of anger that my ex feels towards me. That'll transfer to him. He's just as crazy as she is. They're both conspiracy theorist crazy people. And your tongue's still sticking out, sweetie. And yeah, it's frustrating that I'm doing well and I can't say anything to her. And the day's going to come. I really believe the day's going to come where this channel affords me the ability to make this my primary income. I may work a part-time job somewhere else just for medical and dental and those kinds of things. You are unbelievably cute right now. I just want to tell you that, okay? But, yeah, you got your tongue stuck out like your brother does. But, she's very distracting at how cute she is on the camera right now. But, yeah, trying to reconcile the life I have now with the life I had is sometimes it's difficult. Sometimes it's difficult. Honey. And this little bundle was my ex's. And my ex was going to come down and get her, and I took her and her brother to my mother's. Because I knew she wouldn't go to my mother's to pick her up. Because I said, she's broke up one family, she's not breaking up two. So that's why I still have Bear with Shadow. And Bear's awesome. There's 4 cats in this house. 3 of them fight with each other constantly. And then there's Bear, who doesn't fight with anybody. I keep giving her hiding spots all around the house so that she can hide from the fights. Because she doesn't fight. She's like, I don't fight, I'm a gentle kitty. I'm just a tiny gentle kitty who just enjoys being held and petted. And purring like crazy, if you can pick that up on the camera. Anyways, so that's what's going on in my brain at the end of this week. I have 2 more weeks off coming up. I work this week and then I have 2 more weeks off. I'm sorry that I haven't done more for Patreon. I intend to. Live streams, I'm still trying to figure out a way to do a live stream so that it's only posted on Patreon. I know Shauna, who I subscribe to, Nana Lou, she's had problems figuring that out too. So I'll keep track of what she does and see what she does to fix that problem. There may be a way to do it, but it seems like live events on your YouTube channel, they're just public live events for all your subscribers. And while Shauna's seems to have a fan base that's just basically guys who all have a crush on her, or girls who think that she's, cool, my fan base is a little different. So I got to figure things out a little better here. And then we can get into doing live streams for the channel. I may have to do it through something other than YouTube. I haven't figured it out yet. Or start a different channel and do live streams through a different channel. And then post it here for you guys. I could do that. But that might be more of a pain too. And then all it takes is just one subscriber from the main channel finding it and posting it for everybody. And then next thing you know, hi. Oh, I know I love you too. Now you're being really cute. That's really cute. Hi. You're a nice kitty. She's had me home for a week and a half. She's going to be so upset when I'm at work tomorrow. She's going to be so upset when I'm not here and all the kids are going to be here and screaming and yelling at each other. Anyways, I guess I'm done for now. I hope this has all made sense in some cohesive way. But, yeah, I don't know. The comments in the chat, let me know if you guys have any ideas. Because I would appreciate any ideas on how to keep the riffraff out while keeping the really good subscribers that I really enjoy talking to capable of messaging me. And thank you very much for watching. I don't have to ask you guys to subscribe because you're already there. Thank you for your donation. Appreciate every dollar that's given and granted. And you guys are kind of sort of awesome. So that's kind of amazing. Isn't it, kitty? Isn't it? She's too cute. Alright, that's it for now.